Okay, let's talk.
So I'm going to be general. What can fans expect from this season? And these new characters as well. What can
New characters?
Yeah, what can that mean?
Yeah, there's a couple new characters that I think people will love. We meet them in the premiere. Actually, the premiere starts with like the most insane sequence ever, which I won't talk about, but we meet one of our new characters in the premiere teaser. And I think fans can expect another very different story. Every season's story is very different in terms of, the plot. Season 1 was an origin story, Season 2 was mild weather, Season 3 was AI, Season 4 is this environmental disaster story, which quickly becomes clear they're not going to be able to survive. So they can't stop it. They can only hope to figure out ways to survive. So ultimately, the thing we do, I think, is, which may be different than some shows, there are no 11th hour saves. We say something horrible is going to happen, and then it usually happens. And so that's not going to be different this year. It's just a different nightmare, different enemy.
Kenza and Hugo have been announced as new characters. Is that one of the...
you know what? One of the things we do, because the fans are so smart and aggressive with trying to figure out what we're going to do, is I write dummy sides. I write fake sides now. Change all the names, change all the things that they're talking about, try to keep some emotional consistency in the scene so that I'm looking at auditions, I know the actor can pull the turn. But it's not, no, those are not the names. They're grounders, that's true. But those are not the names in the story that is hard to gather from those sides.
What role will the grounders play or not play in this, in trying to solve this environmental crisis?
It becomes an all-hands-on-deck situation. There are various points of view in terms of should we tell everybody. Clark, I find her arc this season, at least in the beginning of the season, to be kind of fascinating, because in the pilot, you'll remember, she was like, everybody needs to know the truth. Her dad was floated for trying to tell the truth, and she was locked up for it. And now she knows that the world is going to end. She's the only one who knows. She tells Bellamy right away, but she's the only one who knows. And what is she going to do? Is she going to do exactly what she would have done in the pilot, or is she going to try to keep it a secret because she's worried about how people will respond? And so we play a lot with that. There are others who want everybody to know. Raven wants everybody to know because she believes in sort of crowdsourcing the answer. If we tell more people, maybe they know another bunker that's out there somewhere in the world that we can survive in. And so they play a big role for sure. And the political situation on the ground continues. Everybody hates Sky Crew. They blame them for everything, rightly or wrongly. And it becomes a problem because they need time. Sky Crew needs time to figure it out. Like, the science that they possess is the way they're going to solve this problem and figure out ways to survive. And if you're attacking the group that's going to try to figure it out, you won't get a solution, And so, anyway, I don't want to give too much away. I think I'm maybe getting too far.
You spoke about this parallel between Clark in the pilot, maybe before even, and now. And you always have a certain number of flashback episodes each season. Have you started to conceptualize what that will look like in this season?
Are you asking if we're doing flashbacks?
Yes. That's a much shorter question.
I don't know. I love doing them, but we only do them when it illuminates something about the story in the present or about people that we didn't know before. For instance, Finn, we all thought Finn took the spacewalk. We did the flashback and revealed that it was Raven, and that Finn went to jail for her. The first one we did was in season 1, where we thought that Wells, led to the death of Clark's father, and it turned out Wells was holding a secret because he didn't want Clark to know that her mother did that. And that was the point of all those flashbacks. It wasn't just to tell a different part of the story, you know what I mean? So we're looking for ways to do that. I can tell you that I'm working on a novel. I'm working on, with Alloy, we haven't picked the writer that I'm going to be working with on it yet, which is a lot that does go back and tell some of the big story points that, and way closer to the tone of the show. I I mean, it's going to be a post-apocalyptic, edgy, awesome book. And it will fill in a lot of the blanks that I think people are curious about, and I know I'm curious about. So.
They said we have to wrap up, but
By the way, that was news. I never said that before. I don't know if I was supposed to. I think I was. Whatever.
I asked fans for questions on Twitter, and a friend responded. She'd like to give you a groundbreaking episode pitch.
Okay.
Please let Raven have a good day.
Will Raven have a good day? Well, you know, Raven's story this year is interesting because, you know, a lot of what we're exploring with all of them is you've got this terminal diagnosis. You have 6 months to live. What are you going to do with that 6 months? Some people are going to fight until the last breath to save everybody. That's not a fun storyline. It's intense and exciting and dramatic. Some people are going to say, fuck it, you know, we fought too long and we're going to die anyway and the ground's not survivable after all. So I'm just going to have a party for the next 6 months and live life to its fullest. I'm not saying that's where Raven's going to be, but Raven might fall somewhere in that spectrum toward that side. She's given everything. She's sacrificed everything. Her body. She's been through hell. And she does deserve some fun. We'll see.